Hey, what's going on, guys? Raptor and Ellen here, bringing you another, actually, combo tutorial. Not really another one. This will be the first one, but this will be for the Danger Invoked Blue Eyes Part 2 build. A couple of you have been requesting this, and I figured it's about time I got it up and posted for you. I will say that there's already a Part 3 to this deck that's in the making. I'm not 100% done with it yet, but it is severely helping the consistency and what you can do with the deck. So part 3 will be coming not too long from now. The Chaos Max I did end up taking out of the new build that I'm working on, and it does flow a lot better. But if you like the Chaos Max in here, feel free to just run it. I mean, it's kind of a nostalgia thing if you're playing for fun. If you're not really trying to be on the competitive side. I am kind of fighting a cold, so if I sound kind of off, that's why. But yeah, anyways, I figure I'll go through some test hands and kind of show you like what I would do in this scenario. And obviously, like, I mean, it depends on what you play against and what kind of boards your opponent makes. I'm gonna play as if I'm gonna do a test hands based on if you were going second, and assuming that obviously there's no board to kind of show, but as like what the opponent would play. But yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of quickly go through some of the combos I would do with the deck and how I kind of make it work. So yeah, we've kind of shuffled quite a bit. So opening hand, starting off with 6. So, I mean, here, I mean, ultimately, you can do so much with this board already. I guess how I would start it off, especially going second, is I would start off by normal summoning your Alistair to search the invocation. And then also, I mean, this, I guess, I mean, I'm going to be sticking to Master Rule 4. Master Rule 5, obviously there's slight changes that you can do depending on, which style you're playing too. But yeah, so anyway, I would start Alistair, search the invocation, blink away Alistair for, and of course I don't have my extra deck right here, but there it is. Okay, there we go. So link into the Salamangreat Almirage, and then yeah, so now if you're playing Master Rule 4, this really depends, but my favorite combo here at this point would be Melody, send the Nessie. Now you get to search Alternative, Chaos Max, and a Danger Search. So you're basically plussing off that Melody for sure. And at this point, yeah, there again, like I said, you just search the Alternative and the one Chaos Max. So now you've got, and the Danger. So at this point, I guess it depends on if they have like face downs or face ups, whatever they played, but I would search either one of these. Standardly, probably Bigfoot. So now you've got, these engrave over here, and you've got Almirage on the field, and this is kind of what your hand's looking like. So in the beginning, I mean, if you needed to, you could play Dark Ruler no more and just break the board and do whatever you need to do. But there again, this is just kind of a test run to kind of show you like some of the hands I get and like what I do with them. This just happened to be lucky. Through playtesting and going through like with my Part 3, I never draw this. Like throughout most testing, like it's kind of funny that it happens on camera now, but usually I still draw into Chaos Max even though I play 2 of these and I never see them. So I guess if you were to stick with this build, I would almost suggest bumping this up to 3, but it's kind of hit or miss. But especially with Desires and the Invoked Engine, I mean, it's not still too bad, but I never see like this and a Melody together through most of my testing. So, but yeah. So now, anyways, so you just summon your alternative, and now you can Chaos form the Chaos Max by sending the Blue Eyes. And now you can Invocation the Makaba out. So this is kind of a lot going on here, but so I kind of leave the graveyard up here, kind of off to the side there. So now, I mean, your field's kind of looking somewhat like this, and obviously you wouldn't put, for Master Roll 4, you wouldn't put this here, but yeah. So now you just play Invocation, and let's see, you would get out the Makaba. So now, I mean, you've got a negate on board. On top of, you know, if you need it, you have a rank 8. You still have a danger in your hand to play. You know, you can shuffle this back into the deck and add the Alistair back to hand. So now you've got more of a chance to special summon the Bigfoot and maybe hit the Alistair or the Dark Ruler no more if you didn't use it, and make another rank 8. And so let's just say, you know, for instance, like you don't want to do anything with this hand, and you want to, you know, kind of keep your hand count up to follow up with another turn if you don't think you're going to be able to kill him, and you're playing Master Rule 4, you can use his effect to target any monster, but I usually do Makaba to protect him for the turn. And now you can go into making your rank 8 above him for, I mean, anything you need at that point. So you can essentially put, you know, Hope Harbinger up there, and now you've got 2 negates, and yeah, and then, I mean, you still have, you know, hand count for your next go around, and then you draw into Magical Meltdown, for instance. So yeah, that's actually pretty popular play for the most part. Like, I would say majority of the time I'm ending a board or starting a board kind of like this. Crazy boards, I usually make like Cyber Dragon Infinity and a Makaba or a rank 8. There again, Master Rule 5, you're a lot more free to, like, you know, to where like you can make like Makaba, Cyber Dragon Infinity, and Hope Harbinger, just because you're not restricted to the link. But there again, and then like I said in part 3, like part 3 to this deck is going to be a lot better, and you're just able to make so much, because I've incorporated a few different extra deck monsters and a few changes to the main deck. It's not really a huge change, but it's like the small changes I made just increase the ceiling a lot. So yeah, so there was kind of one test hand, so we'll go ahead and shuffle this again, and we'll kind of run through maybe like 1 or 2 more shuffles, and then maybe I'll just pull out like certain cards to make certain combos. So like, just in case, like, you know, you're like, well, I didn't see those hands, but I got like this card and this card, what do I do with it, you know? So let's see. So starting off, and there again, going first, like these same test hands, if you really want to go like with like a first turn play, like we could stop here, and like I will tell you, like my main focus at this point would be summoning Alistair, doing the same play, playing Salamangreat Almirage up here, putting Makaba on board, and then making a rank 8, because you can discard one of the dangers to get Blue Eyes, and then at this point, you know, you can get even like Chaos Dragon Legionnaire, or say, you know, if this was a field spell by chance, like you could get Malefic Blue Eyes. That's kind of one of the best, or my favorite combos to do. But yeah, so anyways, so like playing this out going second, what do we got? Oh, speak of the devil, Malefic Blue Eyes. So going second though, even like say with this hand, There again, it depends on what kind of board your opponent has, but you can discard any of the dangers to pop their cards and get searches. But I think, like, going forward, starting out, going second, I would bait out any Ash Blossom by playing Alistair, because, like, it really depends on the situation. Like, you can play, some people will Ash Blossom like your dangers. Like, I've seen that happen so many times, and you just activate the effect again, so they kind of just like burn their ash. So you can try, like, if they're you know, kind of that gullible to, because I mean, if they ash one of the dangers, you just activate their effect again and keep going. But I usually do Alistair to bait any sort of hand traps, because at this point, especially nowadays, when you play Alistair, most of the time your opponent thinks that you're playing Shaddolls, because that's just the most popular deck right now. So I like to start with Alistair, and then if they Ash Blossom it, it's like, okay, I can get Blue Eyes on another card, and then I can danger off, keep drawing. So let's just say, for instance, I know some of this and I got ashed, so I'm gonna play Melody, and at this point, honestly, I'm probably gonna hit the Thunderbird, and then we'll go into, let's see, so we'll get Blue Eyes, and I guess at this point, I mean, there's not really a good choice, because either way, like, you're at high risk of discarding one or the other of whatever you need. So, but let's say you got Ash Blossom for your Alistair, so you don't get to add that. Well, you can reveal your Blue Eyes, summon the alternative, and now activate the danger. So we'll just kind of shuffle up the hand, and I'm gonna not look so that we don't know which one it is. I don't even remember which one it is. So I'm gonna hit this one. Okay, so we hit the danger. So so that's kind of a bust. But there again, at this point, I mean, you've already got 2 darks in the grave. So another cool thing that I like to do, if I have no other option, is you can still play the Malefic Blue Eyes and banish a Blue Eyes out of the deck, and it'll go to the grave. So now you've got 3 darks in grave. And let's just say, for instance, you didn't have another dark, you could link this away, and now you can special summon Chaos Dragon Legionnaire, shuffle a card from their hand back into the deck, and now you've got a rank 8 with Almirage here. So, I mean, like, it's still not a bust. It just kind of depends on which way it goes. So, but yeah, we'll do another test hand, and then I'll show you kind of like my favorite hand. And it's usually really only a couple cards, and you know, we got fur babies here, so they're gonna comment down below too. So, but anyways, so let's go with, we got Blue Eyes, Return, Chaos Form, Melody, Chaos Form, okay, and Blue Eyes. All right. So with this hand, I would honestly Melody one of the Blue Eyes, search Chaos Form and alternative, and there again, this ultimately still depends like what your opponent's board is, but I think kind of at this point this is kind of the safe option, because now you can go well, first I would do the alternative reveal, and then you can Chaos Form, I would say, the Blue Eyes out of your hand for the Chaos Max, and then Return of the Dragon Lords of Blue Eyes, and now you've got 3 level 8s to where you can make a rank, you can push for the OTK, and then you've still got a Chaos Form in your hand with Return and Grave for protection, and you're going to draw into a trade-in, which will be a brick, and then Pot of Desires, so you'll get to draw 2 off of that, if the game's still going that long. So but yeah, so that's kind of another test hand. I would say one of my favorite hands to play with this deck is like Melody, Magical Meltdown, Let's see. I'm gonna say Danger Nessie, and then like Galaxy Soldier and a Whitestone, because and then like if you're going second, like to take it like one step further, I guess either a return or a chaos form. And there again, like you don't have to have all of these cards, but this is just my favorite. So like, because I would start out Magical Meltdown, so you'd search your Alistair, link away for Almirage. Let's see, let's grab the Almirage here. Okay. And now you've got Invocation somewhere ready to go. Okay. Now you'd hit Danger Nessie with Melody to search, and at this point, I mean, it really depends on like what you have here, but I will pretend like I have Return of the Dragon Lords, so we don't go into like Chaos Max to where it's like a super lucky hand, I would say. But now off of Nessie, I'm going to search the Alternative and the Malefic Blue Eyes, and then your Galaxy Soldier. You're going to send the Whitestone to special, and now you're going to search a Blue Eyes White Dragon and your other Galaxy Soldier. Okay. And now, I mean, you just kind of go off because you got this field spell here now. So I mean, you can special summon the Alternative, send the Blue Eyes to special summon the Galaxy Soldier, and I did not get my Danger. I just realized that. But yeah, I mean, get the Bigfoot. And so yeah, so now, I mean, you've got a hand looking like this. You can special summon the Malefic Blue Eyes by banishing, you know, a Blue Eyes out of your deck, so it still deck thins at the same time. And now, I mean, like, you have the cream of the crop. Like, if this is Master Rule 5 by chance, I mean, like, you could make like a rank 8. I mean, you're gonna put up like 3 negates. You know, because at this point I would go Cyber Dragon Infinity, Hulk Harbinger, and then a Makaba by banishing the Whitestone out of the grave, and then obviously the Alistair, and then you would add back the Alistair from this, so this would get shuffled into the deck, and now your hand looks like this. So, and you've got 3 negates on board, and then if you want to even take it a step farther, this is kind of up to you, but I think I would, in this case, is play this, Return of the Dragon Lords, so that you have a Blue Eyes on board, and at this point, you can choose to suck him up under your Cyber Dragon Infinity to gain more attack and gain an extra negate material, or you can leave him for protection. Either one is really, you know, it's kind of up to you. But now, I mean, you've got a whole board full of 3 negates with protection, and you've still got cards in hand for next turn or to gain attack if you need to beat over something. So that's just kind of probably one of my favorite boards to make, especially Master Rule 5. This board is still very possible under Master Rule 4. It's just a lot harder to make. So, like, the only way to really do this under Master Rule 4 is to get really lucky with your dangers, and special summon a bunch of dangers, and then make, like, the BLS link here, and then make, you know, a couple of those. So, but yeah. So anyways, so that's kind of it for the tutorial. There again, I mean, I don't think there's anything too major out of the extra deck that I didn't really cover. Another thing to note is if like this gets ashed, You can still link them away to make the BLS. You know, he's still there, or you can fusion summon him with, you know, banishing him to make your Makaba, or just whatever you need. Another cool little fun fact, I don't remember if I told in the deck profile or not, is if he gets destroyed before you make Infinity, like, you get to play a Makaba for free. So that's just kind of another bonus. But yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Like I said, part 3 is coming pretty soon, because I've pretty much got that worked out to where it's a little bit more consistent than this deck. And you know, it plays through Nibiru, which this deck usually doesn't even summon enough times for Nibiru to work, and then you put a negate up anyway. So still not a bad deck. And then you get the Chaos Max for the potential OTK, or whatever you're going for. So but yeah, part 3 is coming up soon, and then also I plan to do a Cleave deck profile pretty soon, because I think I've got that pretty much ironed out too. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are, and any changes you might have made, or any suggestions you guys have. But anyways, Raptor and Ellen signing out. Peace, guys.